Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final episode of the Renaissance here on Lesser Known History. This one's going to be very short. We are going to be talking about the end of the Renaissance. So let's hop right into it. All right, everybody, let's talk about what ended the Renaissance. So first off, the access to new information and ideas. Off to your right, you have the picture of the great Martin Luther. And we all know what Martin Luther did, right? Protestant Reformation and the questioning of the church, and these new ideas that poked at the idea of the supremacy of the Catholic Church at the time. So what happens with the Protestant Reformation? Really simplified, a bunch of wars happen in Europe between Protestants and Catholicism, and so it causes a bunch of upheaval. Now, we already talked about earlier how Italy was sacked by the Holy Roman Empire, and so what happens is since the Catholic Church and the mercantile republics are devastated, money starts to move out of Italy and spreads into France, Germany, England, and that's how we get those renaissances. But as the Renaissance follows the money, it eventually burns out. So it burns out as everything keeps on going, and then eventually it's gone. Because of the widespread devastation that happens in the Holy Roman Empire and Italy and France during this time, people don't have time to focus on art. The church doesn't have time to focus on funding Renaissance era stuff because they're working on the Counter-Reformation. Because the best way to show that you are not about collecting money for indulgences is to spend more money to make better artwork. But this artwork is not in the Renaissance style. It is instead glorifying the church. So that is how you start to see that massive shift away. And so that is how the Renaissance ends. And it just starts and then just fizzles out over time. Now, what is it replaced by? Well, it is replaced by the Enlightenment. And so the Age of Enlightenment is a whole other topic. It could be entire college courses. But the Age of Enlightenment is built off of the Renaissance and humanism and the idea of the artistic genius and the centering of man, right? If you can center the world on yourself, it goes forward, and that's when you start to get the questioning of the head of state and the idea of representation through representative government. And so in many ways, while the Renaissance does die and fade away, it also transforms itself into the Enlightenment. But whereas the Renaissance is heavily influenced by the church, the Enlightenment becomes very secular in nature. So while Enlightenment ideas are still around, maybe you could even say the Renaissance has still always been happening. But that is all, guys, and I hope everybody has enjoyed this series of discussions about all the Renaissance things that have gone on in history. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe. I have a ton of really cool new content on the way. And I will see you all in another video. Have a great day.